Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Queen Sugar. So today I have a pick a card reading that looks into what money messages your spirit guides have for you at this time. Also any words of encouragement when it comes to your finances, when it comes to your career, when it comes to your business. So take a moment to just kind of, relax and just allow the energy of your spirit guides and your spirit team to guide you to the pile or piles that best represent the messages that they have for you at this time. So our first pile is the Four of Pentacles. Our second pile is the Two of Cups, or no, the Ten of Cups, but it does give us a Two of Cups energy. And then our third pile is the Six of Wands. Once you have selected your pile or piles, feel free to click the timestamp below to watch your portion of the video. As always, I appreciate the love and the support. I wish you all the best, and I hope you all enjoy the reading. Let's get started. Hey, pile number one, this will be for those that selected the Four of Pentacles card. So we're going to put your card to the side and we are going to go through all of your oracle cards and your tarot cards and see what messages do we have here for you in terms of like career, money, and just finances overall. So let's start off with your first oracle card, which is Treasure. Worry-free finances, money in reserve, excess, and then for career we have executive, we have sales, planning, and hidden talent. So it seems with this card being literally your first card to pop out is that a lot of you are going to get to a space where you don't have to worry a lot about your finances. You don't have to worry about paying off loans or dealing with debt or any type of bankruptcy. Like a lot of that's getting resolved. I also see with you having the Treasure card here, your guides are letting you know that there's going to be a point where you're going to have an overflow of money coming in and also have an abundance of money like being saved. And some of you might even, and the fact that my phone just went off, that might be double confirmation, but some of you might even be able to have like trust and have a lot of real estate coming in as well too, that you're able to manage and take care of and just continue to contribute to. That's your first card. All right, your second card is we have Buddha, life purpose, more than money, spiritual wealth, career, counselor, being guided, and then divine path. This is an interesting card because I feel like not only is Spirit saying that you are going to be financially wealthy, but you're also going to be spiritually wealthy. You have a better understanding of like what it means to be wealthy. Like what does that all entail? It's more than just the physical, right? It's more than just having millions of dollars in a bank account. It's like, what do I do with this money to help others? How do I contribute to the world? How do I help others, maximize and reach their goals as well too? And understanding that, we hear this saying like money is the root to all evil, but it's really not. It's about what do you choose to do with it, and how do you, better yourself and help others along the way so they can maximize their finances as well too. And I feel like with life purpose, this shows us that you make a lot of money doing what brings you joy, doing what Spirit has led you to do and what your calling is. And it could be connected to counseling others. It could be connected to being a mentor or some type of influencer, and also to just connected to like spirituality, because we do have defined path and being guided. So a lot of you get the chance to do what you love, which generates a lot of income for you, which is nice because some people work jobs that they hate, but it's like being able to do work that you love and that you're passionate about that helps others is very rewarding and also fulfilling. All right, your next card is eggs, starting over, saving up, resources, nest egg. And then for career, we have healthcare, new opportunities, and insurance. So some of you might be in the healthcare field or interested in working in that field. There's a variety of positions, right? You have the actual field work, so being like a nurse or a practitioner, an RN, doctor, all of the different things. And then you have those that do like the administration side or the behind the scenes type of thing. So if you've been wondering if you should change positions or pursue it, it seems like this is a good sign to pursue the healthcare for those that are obviously interested in healthcare. And then also too, with the starting over card, some of you have been wondering or needing that push to leave a current position or to start a new role in a different area, different, network that you're not really, I don't want to say familiar with, but more so like that's out of your norm, but you still have the skill set to do it, right? So like, for example, let's say you are a nurse and then you're like, oh, I want to be behind the scenes now. So it's like you're changing the way of work that you currently are experiencing. And then I love the saving up card. So a lot of you are really building that savings account and maybe opening up like, a Roth IRA account or just other resources that allow you to bank as much money and, incur interest and just build on that wealth that you have. All right, and then the last card from this deck is Rose. So we have financial relief, being content, loving care, career, supportive role, job security, and growing. So literally this just confirms that a lot of you are in a position where you're going to be growing financially and just blossoming, right? And I see that with this financial relief, some of you may have gone through some financial burdens, some struggles recently or just over the past few years. And now this is Spirit's way of saying like, hey, the struggle is over. You're finally going to feel like you can breathe. You're finally going to be able to, not feel like the world is just like piling up on you and things are just like too much to bear at a time. So kudos to you for getting out of it and just like, not losing faith, not losing the end goal of like doing well and just living in your purpose. And I love that your card is the Four of Pentacles card because it shows us that sometimes you really just have to ignore the 3D to allow a lot of the opportunities and blessings to come in, because it's like the more you focus on the lack, the more you're going to receive lack. So if you zone it out, then you're able to really lock in on the abundance and the worry-free finances and the savings and all of the resources and the financial relief. So that's essential here. So now we're going to go into your money mantras deck. And so we're going to see what money mantras you can start saying, but also to what other messages Spirit has for you in regards to your finances. So we have, I am worthy of large amounts of money. And so it's funny that it comes under treasure because that talks about excess and like, having an abundance of money. And so learning and knowing that you can have as much as you want, right? You're never asking for too much. If you want to be someone that has $10 million in their savings account, then set that intention and let that be known. That's what you're going after, and that's what you're allowing to come into your life. It's never too much. It doesn't matter if you make $50K a year and then you want to become a person that has like 20, or you want to make like 20K in a day. If you set that intention and if you believe it and you have faith in it and you're putting in the work to evolve and to grow and to walk in your purpose, it will happen for you. But you have to put faith in it. And you also have to know it doesn't happen overnight. Like some things can't happen overnight, but certain things when it comes to this typically doesn't. But it doesn't mean you have to feel nervous or bad when you don't see the changes within months, right? Okay, next we have everything I desire to be is destined for me. So this kind of highlights what I just said too. It's like if you want it, you can have it. So everything that you want, everything that you're desiring to have, everything that you are creating and attracting, you can have it. It's all about just setting that intention and locking in on it and not letting distractions get in the way of you creating the life that you want for yourself and the experiences that you want to have for yourself and for others along the way. All right, next we have is money is on its way to me. So for some of you, like I said, you may have been going through some financial hardships or struggles, and Spirit is saying the money is coming. The money is on its way to you. So even if it feels like you don't have enough or you might not feel like you have any right now, know that it is coming. Be patient, be still, be as calm as you can be, because that is going to allow it to find you easier. It's going to allow you to find you, but also to it's less resistance. All right, next we have the whole universe is conspiring to make me prosperous and abundant. I don't think this card has ever come out before, so that's very interesting that, this is the first time I'm seeing this card come out in a reading. And so this just shows us that you have everybody on your side. There's a team of people I'm seeing, I'm feeling their energy, and they're supporting you in different ways, right? So somebody's working on you getting the money from different, streams of income. Somebody's working on you being more relaxed when it comes to receiving money. Somebody's working on business deals coming in, or somebody's working on a job that pays you twice or three times as more than what you're being paid currently. Like, there's different roles for everybody on your team, and they're doing their part, and it's changing, it's growing, it's allowing you all to grow, and then also build this empire that you're going to see in the physical at some point. All right, so now let's get into your tarot cards. So your first tarot card is the Tower. And never fear, the Tower is here. And with this energy of the Tower, it shows us that there's a shift, there's a change happening for you when it comes to your mind, when your finances and your career, and you can't avoid it, right? So it's like, I've said this before in a reading. I said that a lot of times when people are setting the intention to make more money and to welcome in financial abundance, they think that all the money just comes in, right? It just becomes direct deposits. It's just like, I just get this great opportunity, and then boom, that's how all the money come in. That might be the case for some people, but for other people, it might mean you have to lose something in order to get to this next, how do I word this, like this next level of life to where you're experiencing financial abundance. So for example, let's say I want, to be in the 6 figures annually, right? And let's say you have a job where you're making like $60K a year, and you like your job, it's cool, you don't have any problems with it, but you do want to be in the 6 figures. What might happen? Maybe you get laid off. Maybe, you end up getting fired, or something happens to where you no longer have that job. And then it's like, okay, I must remain calm, be still. And then, the next thing somebody reaches out with a job opportunity, like, hey, would you like to do this remote job that pays $120K a year? Or you find a job that does that, or you start your business. There's different things that might happen, but the idea is that it can't be avoided anymore. So if you want this financial abundance, you have to be willing to accept what comes your way to get you to that position, in a sense of, if something has to be removed, you have to be okay with it, and you have to surrender. Even if you don't understand it in the moment, even if it feels like things might be falling apart, things are probably falling apart so this foundation can be sturdy, the foundation can be solid. All right, look at that. Your next card is the 3 of Cups, and it literally says congrats. This shows you that when you surrender, when you become patient, and when you lock in on the end goal of where you want to be, who you want to be, what you want to have, and you don't let the 3D outcomes and circumstances distract you or interfere with your mood and with your energy, you're literally going to get everything and then some, because you have mastered you mastered it, basically, right? Because that's the thing, you have to be locked in on what you want for yourself and what you want to create for yourself, and you cannot let the stressors of life interfere and get away with you for too long. It's natural to get upset about things, it's natural to worry about things, absolutely, but you can't sit in it to the point where you become depressed, you become anxious, you become negative, and you speak poorly about yourself or poorly about situations. Like, you have to be sure that you are in a healthy mindset, and your thoughts and your beliefs match what you do want to experience. And then your last card is the 7 of Cups. So with the 7 of Cups being here, this shows us that you're going to have a variety of, different options, different choices, and opportunities to pick and choose from. And when the 7 of Cups comes out, it's a good indicator of like multiple possibilities, especially when it comes to your career advancement. So that's, like I mentioned before, if you're interested in doing something different or wanting to apply to a different position, you're probably going to be able to find positions that draw your attention, that you're overly qualified for or qualified for, and that increases your chances of getting offer letters. And then you can pick who you want to work with, or who you want to be in business with, depending on like what you're doing. And also too, I feel like Spirit is saying, just be mindful that you're not biting more off than what you can chew. So not trying to do every single thing. It's like, for example, let's say you're an entrepreneur and everybody's like reaching out to you for brand deals, or wanting to work with you, wanting to book stuff with you. Like, it's great, but also don't stress yourself out trying to accept everybody and thinking like, oh, if I don't accept this, then I'm not, I'm going to miss out on money. It's like, no, what's for you will be for you. There are times where like I get requests for certain things and I turn them down because if it doesn't feel in line with me, no, I'm not going to accept it. Yes, it could be a great deal of money, but it's like also too, is that money worth more than your sanity, your peace, your energy and your rest, right? So be very mindful about that. I'm also seeing too that Spirit is saying that it's important to, just be cognizant of your finances and investment opportunities that might appear. And, don't commit to anything that you don't feel comfortable with or solid with as well, right? Because some people might try to, present a lot of different things to you because they know that you're well off now, or you're in a position where you can handle more financial roles. And so that doesn't mean that you have to do everything just because someone is presenting it to you. So be very intentional, be very clear, use your discernment when it comes to these things, and just allow Spirit to guide you, allow your intuition to guide you, and you will be set. So yeah, this is what I have for you in terms of like the messages that we have for your finances, for your career, just for money overall. And it looks amazing, pile number one. So kudos to you for having a great pile, great reading. And I look forward to seeing how this plays out for a lot of you in the future. Alrighty. As always, I appreciate the love and the support, and I wish you all the best. Bye. Hey, pile number two. This will be for those that selected the 10 of Cups card. So we're going to put your cards to the side, and we're going to go through your cards, your oracle cards here, and also your tarot cards, and see what money messages do we have for you, what guidance, important messages, or how do I word this? Just like resources Spirit has for you at this time when it comes to your career and your finances. So let us start off with your oracle cards here. So your first oracle card is Tree. Financial growth, coming to fruition, abundance, career, outdoor jobs, family business, and stability. So it definitely seems like with this card coming out first, this gives me the vibe that a lot of you are going to be in a space where you can just finally breathe and you finally have this sense of relief, right? Maybe you've been going through a lot financially lately, and it just feels like it's one thing after another just piling up, and it seems that Spirit is saying you're going to have a moment where you can breathe. You're going to have a moment to where you can just rest and not have to worry or stress out and wonder where money is going to come from or when it's going to come in. And it's interesting too that you have the 10 of Cups, because if you think of the 10 of Cups being like the last like numeric card of tarot for each suit, and I'm noticing here in the tree, it looks like some of these look like cups to me too, so it's very interesting. And also the 10 of Cups is typically connected to emotions, so there might be a love aspect that might come along with the money as well too, but we'll see as we get more cards and see what else we get. And then I noticed too with the family business, some of you might go after a role or some type of business that you have siblings or a family member that has done in the past. Maybe you take the lead on it, or maybe something is gifted to you, it's inherited to you. Let's say someone owned like a building and like real estate, and they give it to you, so it's like now you are the one that gets that income now, right? All right, next is Skull. Rough patch, borrowing money, low on cash, career, hospice, healer, no work, reinvention. All right. So I feel like with this card, it's so interesting because like you have the tree and you have the skull. So it's like raising from the dead, coming up from the dead. So a lot of you are having this rebirth when it comes to your finances. Like I said, you may have been in a position where things have been kind of rough financially. Maybe you have been low on cash for a while, or feel like you've been borrowing too much, and it's just getting out of control. So now you're getting to a space to where there's some financial growth, there's money coming in, there's abundance. And I also see too, for the no work piece, there could be an opportunity where some of you are in a space where you don't have a job, but now you're going to be able to find a position that you feel very called to, or you end up finding something that makes you think, you know what, I'm going to start my business and I'm going to start doing that myself, because I know how to do it and I know how to do it well, or, you know, it's time efficient or whatever. So there's some energy around that too. All right, next we have is chess. Money strategy, wise spending, long game, career, military leader, and then thinking it through. So interesting. So when I see the borrowing money and then this card, if you are interested in like getting a loan, whether it's for a business or just for like a personal loan, be very mindful of like the interest rates and like all of the things that come along with it before you sign it, because you don't want to sign something that's going to hurt you in the long run, right? Let's say you're like, you feel like you're low on cash, you're like, man, I could use an extra $1,000. So let's say you find a place that will give you $1,000 loan, but then when you look at all the details and the interest rate, you're basically paying this place $3,000 once the term is over. So it's like you're out of pocket $2,000 extra. Does that make sense logically? Probably not. So be very mindful of what you borrow and like what you sign. I think it's also important to know that sometimes you might not even need what you think you need in the moment if it's coming out of a lack or a fear mentality. So think if you're stressing, that's why like payday loans and stuff like that exist, because they know people need it and are like anxious about paying stuff off, so they're gonna do whatever they got to do to get it. And that's why people charge ridiculous interest rates. So don't fall for those traps. And then also too, if you do need to borrow money, see if you can find a place that would do it for a better interest rate, or if you have a close friend or close relative that can do it, like that can loan you the money and you just like have a contract that way. Figure out another solution if for those that do need to borrow money for like personal reasons. And then when it comes to your business, obviously make sure that you're very thorough with the contract and you're reading everything before you sign it. Ooh, look at that. We have butterflies, sudden change, frivolous spending, short-term loan. So we have another card with loan in it. And then the career is arts, movement, temp jobs, and fun work. Very interesting that it's like this, you know, rebirth, this dead energy, and then it's like this transformation of the butterfly, the tree. So it's like life is coming out of this situation, even when it feels like you're not seeing movement or you're not seeing any type of progress. You're going to see the changes, you're going to see the rewards and the progress of all of the hard work that you've been putting in. You just cannot give up. You cannot lose sight of it, because if you do, it's like you're going to revert back to your old ways, and then it's going to put you back further, because you're getting, you know, you come so far, so why would you go backwards, right? So that's one of the big messages that I see here. And then the fact that we keep getting something about loan, right? Borrowing cash. You really got to read the contracts and be very careful and think about it. Is this something I really want to get caught up in? Okay. All right, so now we're going to look at your money mantras and see what other messages we have. So we have, I am debt free and financially free. So this shows us that if you have borrowed something in the past, or you built up credit cards or any type of like debt, it is going to be paid off. It is going to be paid in full. You'll be free of it. You'll be financially free. And that is something a lot of people might forget to think about when it comes to wanting more money in their life. They think like, oh, you know, I just want to be a millionaire. And it's like, but you want to be debt free. You want to be financially free to where you don't have to worry about a lot of expenses and a lot of like, you know, lenders like wanting things from you, right? So it's okay to have debt, but it's like being mindful and strategic about what type of debt am I going to have, right? How much debt am I going to have? How can I handle it? Can I handle it? And maybe too, this Ten of Cups card coming out, or as being your theme card, like your pile card, some of you will end up marrying someone that is financially, you know, well off, that is financially intelligent. They are financially free, and you learn more from them. So like when you come together, you're in good spaces, but it's like you become even better because both of you have a lot to contribute and to bring to the table. Wow. So we have my soulmate clients are on their way to me right now. So I love that. It's interesting that it has soulmate in it, and then you have the Cups card here. And obviously they're talking about your clients, but it's just more so the people that are meant to give you money, the people that are meant to connect with you, the people that are meant to work with you, they're going to find you. You don't have to worry about like, oh my gosh, how am I going to get this business off the ground? How am I going to get people to come to me? It's like, they're going to find you. And those people that are meant to find you and meant to be with you will stay with you. They'll be loyal customers, and they're going to recruit other people that are going to be loyal customers. And it just continues to, spread, and then you build your network. Also too, when you do what you love and you're good at it and it shows, people are naturally going to gravitate towards you because they can sense it and they can feel it. Right? We have my ideal clients love to pay me in full. So you have two cards talking about clients here. So some of you, this might be a group of entrepreneurs. This might be a group of those that maybe you get bonuses based on the number of people you work with or handle, or how well you perform in certain areas. And so they're letting you know that, one, you'll be compensated for it, and then two, that the people that want to work with you and want to be around you, they're going to pay for whatever you're worth. If you say, I charge $300 for X, Y, and Z, they're going to pay the $300. You're going to have people like, oh, I see you charge $300. Can you charge like $150 instead? No, you don't have to settle for that. If you know that you're worth $300, then you charge your $300, and the people that are meant to pay that will pay it and won't have a problem with it. Next, we have, I manifest money with ease and joy. And so that this shows you too that money comes to you naturally. It comes to you with the joy, with a peaceful energy. It doesn't come to you when you're like super duper stressed out and nervous and anxious and frustrated. It's like money comes to you when you are calm, when you just like, you know what, I'm gonna surrender, and I know it's gonna get handled, so why am I gonna worry about it? And then long and behold, what happens? It comes to you because you surrender, and now everything is handled. So that's something to be mindful of. All right, in terms of your tarot, we have, oh, look at that, we have the King of Cups. And interesting, because when I made the deck, I wanted them to be basically the same couple. So it's very funny how you have Ten of Cups and the King of Cups. So you have two emotional based cards here, and this shows me that there is a love that comes along with this money as well. So it could be someone you're already currently with, or you meet a partner that is just extremely well off and just has so much knowledge and wisdom to show you and to teach you, and then you were able to build a legacy and empire together because of that, which is super dope. I also feel like too, with the King of Cups being here, in terms of like, your career and your finances, it shows that you're going to be able to resolve a lot of issues that you may have been experiencing in the past when it comes to like work, or just like your money habits, like spending habits. Like you get to the root problem. And I see that, this is a great indicator for some of you that are interested in like maybe counseling or nursing, healing like Reiki healing or something like that, to pursue it. Obviously if you feel called to those positions, that's messages for you. I also see too that it's really important to not neglect your finances and not get too focused on making sure everything is like perfect. So like you have to have a balance of spending and saving, right? You can't be afraid to spend. You can't, because when you are afraid to spend, is you live in a fear mentality, then it's going to come from a lack mentality, which is like going to pause money from coming into you. But if you overspend, then you're not having that balance of, saving. So you have to find a balance to where it's like, okay, I won't stress out if I spend money today, but I'm also going to be mindful of like what I'm spending. Next is the 8 of Wands. So this shows you too, a lot of money is coming in very quickly, and also too, once again, being mindful of your spending. So you don't want money. It's like, let's say you get $1,000 check, and then it just disappears in 2 days. Like you should know where that money is going and why it's gone in 2 days, if it has to be gone in 2 days, versus like, oh man, I just got paid, but I don't know where my money is going. Like you are a steward of your money. You're managing your money better, and that's helpful for you to attract more. And then we have the 8 of Pentacles. So this 8 of Pentacles card gives me the vibe that it's really important for a lot of you to focus on what is worth it to you, right? If you love it, if you enjoy it, do it, right? It might take some time for the money to come in, but if it is something you are genuinely passionate about, and that spirit is leading you to, go for it. Some of you might actually go back to school to get like a higher education, a higher degree, to fulfill like another type of role. So let's say you have your bachelor's, but you know the position you want to be in at some point requires you to have a master's. You go back to school for a master's program, but you are able to maybe get grants instead of having to get loans, right? And so that's another thing too with the borrowing the money and the loans is, you know, be mindful of like what you're borrowing, how much you're borrowing, and does it make sense to borrow what you're considering. So let's say it costs you $5,000 for the year and you can borrow up to 10,000. Do you really need to borrow up to that 10, or should you just maybe borrow like the 5,000 that you really need, or maybe like 6,000 to have some wiggle room in case something pops up, right? So like just being very strategic about everything is essential. But overall, it looks like there's so much growth here. There's so much opportunity for change and also healing when it comes to your finances. So if you are someone that has gone through a lot of changes when it comes to money, you know, good and bad, know that the good shift, the good change is happening and it's occurring, and it's definitely here to stay. But you have to make sure that you don't sit in an energy where you feel lack of or worry, right? Because you don't want to let that overwhelm you and let that be your dominant energy. Okay, so I hope this reading resonated with those that selected this pile. It was a joy to read for you all, and I wish you all the best on this journey and look forward to hearing and seeing all of the great news and success that comes along your way. Bye. Hey pile number 3, thank you so much for checking out this video. So let's see what your pile consists of when it comes to the money messages, your career messages, and just overall any advice or just guidance spirit has for you when it comes to these things. So you have the beautiful 6 of Wands card, and that already lets me know that you all are destined for greatness. You're destined for success and just abundance overall. So let's start out with your first oracle card here. So we have book, paperwork, contracts, learning as you go, career, writing, taking a class, education, and law. So if you are curious about like what area you should go in terms of like those that are in school or interested in pursuing school, we have education and law. So those could be great things to pursue. But overall, in terms of this card, it definitely feels like that spirit is saying when it comes to your money and to your career, it's really important to learn as much as you can. Never stop learning, never stop reading, never stop researching. I get that also spirit wants you to keep better track of your finances. So maybe like how you're spending them, how you're spending your money, where your money is going to, because oftentimes we can get a deposit and then next thing you know we're like, oh my gosh, where did that $600 go? And then it's like, oh wow, it went to this, it went to that, it went to that, it went to that, and you don't really know. So being very mindful of your spending and managing a little bit better is something I'm hearing spirit say. I also see with this paperwork and contracts and writing, some of you might even pursue journalism as a random thing too, I'm picking up. But some of you may actually be offered to be interviewed or be in a blog, and spirit is saying accept it. That's just like a random message I'm channeling at this time. So if that's for you, you'll know if it's for you. All right, next, it's a lot of messages coming through this download. You might be someone that experienced a lot of downloads at once. So spirit is also saying check your bank statements, check your credit card statements, and just look at the historical data of like your spending and all of the things. What are your spending habits like really review your habits, and then that allows you to kind of navigate what you should do next moving forward. All right, next we have here is spiral, out of control, climbing the ladder, upward trend, career, revisiting a job, promotion, and connections. So I get a bunch of messages with this card. So the first message that I'm getting with this card is that you don't want to be spending to where everything feels like it's spiraling out of control, right? Like you're losing track of everything. You're not sure where your money is going. You never want to feel like that. So be very intentional about like what you're spending, how you're spending it, and knowing where it's going. It's not saying you have to be like overly micromanaging everything, but you should micromanage right now just to see where things are going. And then as you get better with it, you won't have to like nitpick everything. I'm also noticing that some of you might be climbing up to the next position very soon. So with the promotion. So let's say, you've been an assistant for a while, then you move up to associate, and the next thing you know, you're the director, you're the manager, whatever. Get ready for that like level of experience to, be presented to you, and get prepared. Like, research. Like, for example, if you want to be a manager, if you want to be a director, you need to start reading what directors and managers do. You need to start taking on certain tasks that they do so you can get the experience in, even if you're not necessarily like, for example, let's say you are a coordinator, like a regular coordinator, and then there's like a senior coordinator. See if there's a time where you can actually do a task that a senior coordinator can do or would do. That way it can be on your resume in the future, and then when you're interviewing with people, you can say like, oh, I've had experience managing X, Y, and Z, and that's usually something our senior program coordinator does. So that's something to be mindful of. Next is nugget: small increase, valuable info, honest assessment, career, fresh start, steady work, and career building. So a lot of you are in this position where you can literally be at the top if you want to. It's all about what steps are you taking to get yourself there, and knowing that some things might not happen overnight, and that's okay. It doesn't mean that it can't happen. It just means that it might take a little bit more legwork or a little bit more work to do overall, but it doesn't take away the fact that you'll be successful, and that you will be the leader, you will be on top. So whether you are an entrepreneur, whether you are at a company, an organization, you can be one of the top people there. And Spirit is saying, be strategic, continue to put the work in, and just watch how things grow over time. You might not see it immediately, but you're definitely going to see it. And I love the valuable info because it makes me think of the book. So it's like there's so much wisdom out there for you to gain. All right, next is seal: business contract, documents, gift of money, and then career, writing, clerical, paperwork, and staying put. So we have two cards that talk about writing here. So a lot of you could be connected to journalism or writing something, writing a book, writing a script, whatever. But I feel that Spirit is saying, write it. Write that money maker down, whatever it is, recipes, whatever it is, but also to write, keep track of your finances. Don't lose sight of it. It's easy to fall off the wagon, but get back on. I also see too, with this business contract and gift of money, there could be a few of you that get a bonus from work because you've done so well. Or you're just in a position where they're like, hey, we got extra money, so we want to give it to you all, and that's how you get that gift of money. I also see too, staying put. So don't be quick to run out on something. Don't be quick to give an idea up because you don't see movement immediately. Be patient, and then you'll see change, and you'll see what was happening behind the scenes and why maybe you didn't see that change immediately. All right, now we're going to get into your money mantras cards here and see what other messages we get. So we have money multiplies around me. So Spirit is saying that whatever you're given at any moment, it's going to multiply. But you can't be afraid to let it multiply. You can't be afraid to let it go if you have to. So like, for example, I'm trying to think, like, if you have to make an investment, you can't be afraid to make that investment if it's going to yield you so much, revenue and so much income and profit. Same thing with like, if you got to buy something for your business and it's like $300, you're like, man, it's $300. I don't know. It's like, should I do it? And if it's going to be the product that is needed for you to take off, invest in it. And know that when you do that, the money's going to come back to you 10 times, 100 times more. All right, next we have, I'm making more money than I've ever made with 90% less effort. That's amazing. Why is this amazing? because you're making money in your sleep. You're making money while you're on vacation. You're making money while you're out drinking mimosas with your best friends. That's what you want to experience. You don't have to put a lot of heavy work, and you don't have to put a lot of labor in. Maybe in the beginning you might have to do a little bit of leg work and get things off the ground, but then it gets to a point where it's just like smooth sailing. You literally go to bed and you making whatever amount of money a day, which is nice. I have all the money that I desire. So whatever you want, you make it, you get it, right? It's never, oh, I don't know if I should ask for that because I don't know if I'm gonna get that. It's like, no, if I say I want to make 10K this month, I'm gonna make 10K this month. And you mean it, you set that intention and you believe in it, and then you get it. That's what you have to be with anything that you want in life. You have to be cocky with it sometimes. You gotta be confident with it. You can't be like, oh, maybe I want to make 10K this month. It's like, no, I'm gonna make 10K this month. I'm gonna do it, point blank, period. And you act accordingly as if you know, as if you just saw that you just made 10K within the first 2 days of the month. Like, move that way, act that way, and then watch how things just flow in naturally. All right, next we have is, it is safe for me to be wildly wealthy. That literally, that is like perfect confirmation. Some of you are afraid to be wealthy. Some of you are afraid to have money. Some of you are afraid to be in a better financial position. What does that mean? Because you're so used to being paycheck to paycheck, or seeing people live that way, or seeing people struggle, it's become like second nature to you. And you know that's not the lifestyle you want to live, but it's like there's a part of you that still feels like that's what you should be experiencing. And that might explain why some difficulties come your way, why things might feel like they're out of control, why things might feel like, oh my gosh, how am I going to pay for this? How am I going to handle this? You have to feel safe and know that it is okay for you to be in a position where you are financially free, you're financially abundant. And wealthy can mean a lot of things, and it can mean a different thing for everybody. But knowing that it is safe for you to have it. And I love that it comes under the seal, because it shows us that what's in this envelope is for you. So if spirits say, you know, so-and-so is supposed to be wealthy in this lifetime, that's protected in that seal, and that's just for you. But you have to feel safe to accept that. You have to, you know, believe in it and know that it can happen for you, and not be afraid if you don't, just because you don't see something happen in 3 months doesn't mean it's not going to happen at all. You have so much life to live and so much life to experience. So be patient and know that it's going to come your way and work out. All right, so now let's get into your tarot cards. So we have the Four of Swords. As I said, like, be patient and know that it's going to work out. The Four of Swords is a card that represents this energy of relaxing. You know, this energy of just being still and welcoming what's supposed to come into you from being, it represents this energy of being healed, because it comes after the Three of the Swords, which is about heartbreak. So it's like, once you realize that, okay, maybe I shouldn't be anxious, maybe I shouldn't worry about everything, because it doesn't do anything for me, it doesn't serve me. And so Spirit is saying, be still, be patient, and just surrender. Look at that. Nine of Cups. The Nine of Cups is a beautiful card because it represents this energy of like being abundant. It represents this energy of prosperity, right? And so things are going to work out and work well in your terms of like the money investments you might make, or the career choices that you might pursue. And knowing too that it lets you know that there's some type of monetary reward that's going to be offered to you multiple times. It's not a one-time thing. It's going to be offered to you multiple times. And if you have experienced any hardship or pain when it comes to financial debt or to struggles, this card is telling you literally like those bad times are over and they're behind you, and you don't have to worry about it anymore. And welcome in this energy of peace, welcome in this energy of joy, welcome in this energy of happiness and just fulfillment, and knowing that you are taken care of spiritually, emotionally, mentally, financially, all of the above. Right? And I think I'm hearing Spirit say, like, definitely work on your root chakra right now. So if you experience some lower back pain too, that's a sign. But definitely work on your lower your lower chakra system, but especially the root chakra, because that's your foundation. And it seems that some of you might feel a little off when it comes to money. So definitely work on that and heal any trauma, any pain that you have when it comes to finances. Look at that Nine of Swords, which is all about anxiety, right? And the first thing that I hear is Spirit saying, like, do not let fear paralyze you. Do not let fear or anxiety keep you in a chokehold. And a lot of you need to release this energy of when it comes to money, that you can't have a certain amount, that you're never going to have a certain amount. You should never think that you are meant to live this world and struggle. If you have thought that, you need to get rid of that thought. You need to get rid of that belief. I don't care if you're having a bad day. Don't say that ish ever again. Don't ever say it again. Don't say I'm broke. Don't say any of those type of things to yourself again. Even if you do see $0 in your bank account, don't say it. Because think about it. Why would you want to say something like that and keep giving that power and keep making that be your story when you don't like it? So it's definitely time to change it. And, you know, don't let this fear and this anxiety overwhelm you and cause additional stress and anxiety, right? You don't want to keep making these mountains of struggles and burdens. You need to let go of that anxiety. And you need to also, too, you know, be realistic about your finances, of course, in a sense of like, okay, this is what it is, but also know that it's going to work out for me. So whatever I have to do to make sure it works out, I'm going to do it. So for example, it's that you're like very depressed about your finances and you never want to leave the house. Get out the house, go outside, go for a walk, even if it's 15 minutes, because that can literally change your mood, and that changing your mood can help change your thoughts and help change how your energy is moving along your body. And everything is energy, everything is spiritual. And you want to make sure that you're in alignment with the Six of Wands energy. You're in alignment with the person that is abundant financially, the person that is abundant, you know, spiritually, that is financially secure. You need to get into that energy, into that space, and shift the way that you think and what you believe about yourself when it comes to money, regardless of what the past has shown you. Okay? That was a lot. That was intense, but it was needed. It had to be said. Okay? So just know that you're destined for your Nine of Cups. You're destined for your Six of Wands. This is you living in your moment of joy and celebrating your success. Okay? So this is what I have for those that selected this pile. I hope that it resonated with you, and I hope you enjoyed it. And I look forward to just hearing the success and all of the greatness to come your way. And know that it is time. It's time for you to be abundant and to live in this moment. Okay? I wish you all the best. Bye.